Alright guys, what's up? It's Attractive Lewis here, and I'm starting another video with you guys, and it's going to be a deck profile on, what's the name of it?
I guess you can call it Invoked Wind Witches with some interesting tech you'll see.
Nice. Okay, so he's going to go into the monsters now, so you can just show your ratios.
So
just make sure they come right here.
It's normally standard, 3 Alistair. He's the Stratos who searches out your fusion, and then he's also an Honest. The Honest effect I don't really use in this matchup, but in specific matchups, just because it's not really relevant. But the 1000 is funny sometimes when, it does poke damage. You play 3 of the Ice Belt because she's, the only reason you run this engine is because of, make Crystal Wing. It's literally, it's either Crystal Wing or Stardust Dragon. Literally the only 2 reasons you play it. The bird damage is nice. Other than that, it just gets Crystal Wing out, and it's nice. Crystal Wing's Crystal Wing. It's a god. I play 1 of each. I don't like.
So why do you play the artifacts?
The artifacts is because it's disruption, and a lot of the point of this deck I feel is disruption is more important because your deck doesn't do a lot of damage. So it's more of like I guess you can call it a helmet deck in a sense because all you're doing is sitting on whatever monster you're doing and then using your traps and your hand traps and whatever other ways to get damage through. At that point, like today, I was playing against someone, and the only reason I won is because I can stall out long enough to do 1,000 8 times in a row or whatever the case is. And then for the hand traps, I run 1 Ghost Soaker, 1 Effect Veiler, 1 DD Crow, the Maxi. Then my favorite tech is the Malefic Stardust Dragon. The reason I run the Stardust Dragon is because I have Stardust Dragon in the main deck and extra deck anyways. It doesn't do anything because you hardly ever go into it. And the funny part is, if you have the field spell out and you have him out, they can't get rid of the field spell, and then that means a guaranteed fusion every single time. Not to mention another 25 beater.
So we're going off to the traps or the spells?
I'll do spells first.
Okay, cool.
So normal spells, double Twin Twister because I hate back row. Back row, you lose the back row because you need to get your Stratos effect off, you need to get your Wind Witch effect off, etc. I play the 2 infusions. Any more than 2 is unneeded. You can technically play 3.
It
recycles itself. You don't really need any more. Double Dark Hole, and then Warageki. I like Kaiju's, but because he's special, I feel like it's kind of like counterproductive in certain matchups, and then they quad really bad. Because like if I have 1 and I don't draw 2, if I he has a bigger one and I have a smaller one, I'm kind of fucked at that point. And then I play the Book of Moon because it stops XYZ summons, it stops attacks, stops potential synchros, it stops a lot of things. It targets, but in this meta right now, targeting isn't as bad as it was way back a few years ago. And then my favorite thing that helps you get rid of almost anything as long as you have it is
So what does it do?
Basically what it does is no matter what you're attacking, you're always 100 attack over. Attack and defense. So attacking a 4,000 attack monster and I'm 0, I'm 100 more than you. All the time. And then when it gets sent to grave, you're forced to pay 500, and then you either have the option to put it on top or bottom. There's some couple cards that I'm probably gonna add in because I built it like 5 minutes before the pre-release, so like I didn't, this is all just straight off the dome. But there's a card called Hidden Armory. It searches out any equipped spell. So in this version, you can search out the Hidden Armory, or you can search out the Wonder Wand for your Wind Witches when you need it, and that's part of the draw power. And then the last 2, I play 2 of this because 3 is not needed, and the deck is. If you want to play a big version of the deck when you have Desires, you can, but I don't have the money for Desires, so I try to make it as fast as possible.
We budget out here.
Facts. And you never make more than 2 anyways. So it's like whatever.
So we're off to the traps now.
Yeah, so traps, I play 1 Call of the Haunted because if I can tell you how many times I got Kaiju'd on the Crystal Wing, you'd feel my pain. So that's one reason why I wanted to Call of the Haunted. I might run 2. But also your fusions, you can summon your fusions back with Call of the Haunted. You can do Call of the Haunted's so broken. There's one time I summoned 1 of the Wind Witches just to use the Wonder Wand to draw 2, and then I literally drew Alistair and 1 from there. Like it's very versatile. Not to mention you're playing the artifact, so you get the effects on your turn when you summon it. Play the 1 Compulse. The Compulse is because it's more disruption. You could pop your own card. Bounce your own cards or your opponent's. So there's a situation where I Flying Seed him, and he was playing Zeus, so I bounced it to so I could take damage. I bounced the Flying Seed in my hand, and whenever he would do anything, I would just summon it back again. And then Lost Wind is because it's freaking, it's Lost Wind. It's self-explanatory. You get to set it again after use. This card because I play a decent amount of spells, but at that point, I'm not playing that many spells. If I'm playing against Zeus, Light Swarms, or anything else relevant with half the deck of spells, especially like the grass or greener type decks, this shuts them down and I just win. There's only a few more traps, so I have the 1 Solemn, the Double Reckless, The Reckless was hilarious this specific tournament because I Reckless into a Reckless, so I set the Reckless, and I drew 2 more, and I only had to wait 2 turns instead of the 4, so that was funny. And then again, I don't have Desires, so YOLO. And then these 2, I wish I had shiny ones, but the Quaking is broken in this version of the deck, just because again you don't do a lot of damage, so. Maybe you can argue you can play this or Storming or any other Mirror Force, but I like this one just because I want to. Because half the time you don't have everything anyways. You only have certain pieces. You're waiting for something else.
And it's good against Dino too, because if you have Mirror Force, a regular Mirror Force will just destroy and then go off.
Yeah, and they'll go off.
But this will just set their shit down.
Yeah, exactly. So and then the reason in certain decks you have to run this, in other decks you run the other versions. And then the last 2 are the Sanctums. The Sanctums are self-explanatory to get them out. Also, when they get popped, I get a destruction, so I'll chain it, get whatever summon, and then I'll get a destruction off of it too.
Yeah.
So that's done for the main deck. In this tournament, I only ran a 6-card side deck because I'm a boss. So I run 2 Confronting the Seas because Confronting the Sea is like one of the better cards in this format, because when your opponent would to activate a spell card to special summon it, you can special from your hand, so it's a floater. You get a free monster, it's an Earth, so I can summon the Earth Fusion. He's level 4, so if I really wanted to, I can make rank 4s. Also, when he dies, I can search out another sea monster, and not on top of that, when he's summoned off his own effect, he's a Macrocosmos. So like he's like 4 different things in once. He's a Stratos, he's a Macrocosmos, and a free monster. I play the Flying Sea because I main deck the Maxi because you have to. I mean, it sucks when you.
I forgot which one searches the Maxi off of.
The Confronting Sea. On Destruction, he searches either this one or the other one.
Okay.
This one, this is what I was telling you about with the Compulse play. This doesn't allow you to XYZ your opponent to XYZ, so that was hilarious. I Moon Mirror Shield this. I normal summon and Moon Mirror Shield and won a game. That was so interesting. And then I play these just for the fact that there are more Book of Moons in the deck. Like I said, Disruption's really important. And the fact that if I really wanted to, I can chain to special summon it. It eats a hit, and it also counts as a water monster for the water fusion. So it's always relevant. The last 2 cards on the side are a mistake because everything searches in this meta, so fuck everything that searches in this meta. And then every other card that's not in the side deck, you can imagine, it just fits to the meta, it applies. These are just the most important ones. If I had to place Set of Strikes, I'd probably put them in there, and then Fire, Ice Hand, etc. And
now
then
we're going to go up to the extra deck. So.
Yeah, this is the last part of the video. So the one of the Macabre, one of this one. I play one of the water. I play triple of the wind one because he's again more disruption. Like I said, Book of Moon. If I had 3 Book of Moon right now, I'd play 3 Book of Moon.
Yeah.
So more Book of Moon the better. The last 2 fusions, I run 1 Earth and 1 Fire. I run the 3 wind ones because the wind witches are the only guaranteed archetype attribute you're gonna get besides another dark or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of have to. So not to mention he's a 22 attack, 24 beat, and then he Book of Moons. So that's pretty good. I play Ultimate Zolkin because I play Call of the Haunted and then the Sanctum. So level 5, and then the Theseus.
Theseus, nice.
And the last cards, Crystal Wing, Stardust, Clear Wing, and then the Snowball.
Nice.
Everything is pretty self-explanatory. The only thing I would probably fix is probably adding, Desires, maybe some Strikes, and then basically self-explanatory stuff,
Yeah. So you have any shout-outs before the video ends?
Team Akatsuki 860, Hartford all day, every day, Yu-Gi-Oh's life. Shout out to this guy right here.
Yeah, Track to Duelist.
And thanks for the deck profile.
Yep. See you guys in the next video.